Hey guys, hope you're well. My name is Rob, welcome to Kinetic Rugby League. In this video, I'll be giving you my Super League playoff semi-final predictions. Now, I'll leave a recap of last week up on the screen for you now. I'll get that out of the way, and you can see the stuff. Let me address the voice. Now, if I sound very different to normal, I think I do. My voice is a little bit different from the Warrington vs Saints game. This is the aftermath of that. I got very loud when we scored. So, I got home. My voice was fine. I made the TikTok video. And then, slept and woke up sounding like I'm going through the second stage of puberty. So, if I sound weird, I have drops in my voice. Just don't worry about it. I'm recovering at the moment. And get me a couple soothers and I'll be right as rain. But let's crack on with the first game of this week. So kicking things off, we have Kingston Rovers taking on the Warrington Wolves. Starting with league position from the regular season, Hull KR finished in second, Warrington finished in third place. For recent Super League form plus playoffs, both teams have won 4 in the last 5. And for power rankings, I'd still have Hull KR in second, Warrington Wolves in third. So based on this game, this is a pretty interesting one because I feel like of the 2 games available, this would be most likely to be the close game. So starting with kind of talking about Kingston Rovers first. Very quick in attack, very, very quick in how they execute. They move with pace and accuracy. That's extremely important as well. The kicking game has improved massively throughout the season. We never really associated Lewis or even May with decent kicking game, but Lewis, I should say, has improved that over the course of the season in terms of the placement, the kick chases, overall direction. It's not really something we consider being in his game, but I've certainly seen improvements in that. So the kicking game of Hull KR has definitely improved over the course of the season. The defence is very, very solid. They are very difficult to break down. So they're all the positives. In attack, very quick, very accurate, which means that they don't have to break stride when moving the ball around, and they can attack the short side and really, find holes even in the tight spaces. So they do a great job at shifting the ball to the far side, or they can really damage teams down the short side. So it makes it very difficult to judge what they're going to do and deal with that as well. The only concerns I've got, and they're not even like major concerns, they're just something to consider for the game. Number one is the occasion. Obviously, Hull KR, they've played plenty of big games this season, been under a lot of pressure in certain games. They had the Challenge Cup semi-final that they were beaten fairly comfortably against Wigan, but a lot that they could have learned from that. They've had plenty of other massive games this season. So, of course, the fact it is a semi-final adds pressure. That will be the same for Warrington, which I'll get onto. But the only other concern is Minchella, and that's not like an overwhelming concern for them. It's just that loose forwards are seen as like the honorary 5th member of the spine. So the thing is, when you want to shift the ball across the field from left to right and right to left, the loose forward is typically involved in that. And a lot of the times, the loose forward will make key decisions on do they trigger a play? Do they just engage the line instead? And Elliot Minchella will kind of know, based on where they are on the field, how things are looking, how things feel, he'll know what decision needs to be made. And in terms of knowing where that ball needs to be and getting the timing right, it's just whoever fills that void might not get it as right as Elliot Minchella would in terms of decision making and accuracy, all that good stuff. So that's the only major concern, but at least they've had the week off to really go over exactly what they want to do with whoever fills that 13 role. And they might try and do something a little bit different, maybe try and use a few players off the bench to fill in that role, mix it up, instead of, just being able to do things a little bit differently. They've had time to prepare for it. That's the most important thing for them. But as far as concerns go, that's it. But it's not a major thing. For Warrington, they have beaten KR twice this season. They've lost once in the regular season at the Halliwell Jones. Also beat them at the Halliwell Jones and beat Hull KR at their ground in round 4. So the fact that they've at least beaten Hull KR twice, once at home and especially away, is at least a good start. Knowing that you can go somewhere and beat them, to have that in the back of your mind is a good start. They probably go into this game a little bit more battle-hardened. One thing that John Wilkin and Brian Carney have talked about especially, and Sam Tompkins have talked about them being battle-hardened with kind of like the weak opponents that Warrington have had building up to the playoffs, whereas Hull KR, they've been battling for a League Leaders Shield for the past 3, 4, 5 weeks. So Warrington from that game against Saints may be a little bit more battle-hardened and of going into this game kind of now ready for the experience, if that makes sense. Warrington are still very strong on both sides of the ball, really good with the ball and strong on the goal line defensively, but I think both sides do need to be perfect against Hull KR with the way that they defend, the way that they attack with speed and accuracy and aggression as well. Warrington need to be basically perfect on both sides to compete, and I think the kicking game is still an issue for me. I think if Lewis and May are pinning Thulis, Dufty and Ashton into the corners, making them have to do a lot of work getting out of the backfield, I think Warrington could really struggle to get out there. And Saints definitely did a very good job of that. I think Hull KR might be able to do that more so with better discipline. So with all that being said, based on the experience, the experience of the games this season, how well each team's been doing, the areas that they've flourished in and kind of lacked quality in, I'm going to go with Hull Kingston Rovers 26, Warrington Wolves 20. Finally, we have the Wigan Warriors taking on the Leigh Leopards, starting with league position from the regular season. Wigan finished the season in first place, Leigh finished the season in fifth place. For recent form, Wigan had won 5 in their last 5 Super League games, Leigh have won 4 in their last 5 Super League games. That includes the playoff win. Terms of power rankings, I'd still have Wigan in first and still have Leigh in fourth place. So starting with Wigan, as they are the home team, I think almost everything that they do right now is perfect. It's not like every tiny detail is on point, because they have made mistakes, they can make mistakes, and we may see that, but it looks nearly perfect in all departments. I think they're well structured down the left-hand side. So when it comes to attack, they're really well structured down the left. When it's Harry Smith linking with Junior Nsemba, Jake Wardle and Liam Marshall, there's a good structure there and they kind of know how to break teams down. But when it comes to the right-hand side, which is where Jay Field and Bevan French are allowed to kind of ad-lib, they're allowed to play off the cuff and do things and just play off what they see, and that makes them very, very dangerous. So you've got one side that is based purely on structure that teams just can't seem to slow down, and then the other side, you've got 2 of the quickest players in the league, not just going in a straight line, but stepping left and right, that know how to evade defenders, partnering together on the other side of the field to connect. So they've just got threats all over, and the fact that they can beat teams up through the middle as well is huge. They should be able to maintain control over this Leigh team. I think with the kicking game, the brutality that they have in the middle, I think overall they should just be able to kick well into the corners, have a strong kick chase, be strong defensively, be disciplined enough as well. I think they're a professional enough outfit to not give away too many stupid penalties, and typically handle the ball very well to not give easy turnovers in the middle of the park or even down their own end. So on Wigan, weapons all over, very well disciplined, very well drilled team, and I think we'll find plenty of ways to break down this Leigh team whilst being difficult to break down themselves. Taking a look at Leigh though, I think they need to continue to be physical again. That was one major thing against Salford last time out, was they were very, very physical. I think both teams focused way too much on just trying to beat each other up and just trying to throw punches constantly. Leigh need to keep that intensity in trying to be brutal through the middle, and if they can get one up on Wigan, then fair play, they can set the platform, really, really take the fight to them. But they need to provide an actual structure with that as well. There needs to be an actual intent on what they want to do on the 4th tackle, on the 5th tackle especially, and they need to make sure that Wigan don't get those easy meter through the middle. You've got to win the physical battle in the middle of the park, and then you can start to set an actual structure. But you need to have one this time. You can't just rely on those punches through the middle. I'm not sure they're strong enough to keep Wigan out in large portions of the game. I think they can put up points. Like, they've got the potential to do it, but Wigan's a really strong defensive outfit. Leigh can put up points, but I don't know if they can restrict the flow of points from Wigan, especially if Wigan are on it. Like, if they're linking up properly, they're not making stupid mistakes, I think they'll struggle to slow down their progress. So attack is pretty much their only saviour. If they can find a few ways to get some turnovers, even if it's like a metre out from their own try line on the last tackle. If they can just grind out those defensive sets like they did against Salford, they've got to back it up much earlier with tries, basically. Now, if they're gifted some penalties, fair enough, they'll probably take them, but they've got to back, if they do replicate what they did last week, they've got to back it up with tries. They've got to this time. So yeah, attack is their only saviour, realistically. And the final thing is pretty much, how does an underdog win in a game of rugby league? Well, first of all, you can't be making mistakes. If you're clean and Wigan aren't, you'll be in much better field position. You've got to kick accurately into the corners. You can't be doing stupid stuff like kicks out on the full. You can't be dropping the ball constantly. You can't be giving away 6 agains or penalties. You just have to be clean. The basics have to be perfect. You don't have to worry too much about, how smooth you look in attack. As long as all of your fundamentals are spot on, over the course of 80 minutes, it will put you in the right places. Is that enough to overtake Wigan? I don't think so. Because I think Wigan, even when they are at a disadvantage, if they do mess up themselves or Leigh are just doing the basics properly and getting in good field position, I think Wigan are a strong enough outfit on both sides of the ball to just kind of get out of it and to get out of any sort of chokehold that Leigh put them in. So that's my kind of thoughts on Wigan and Leigh for that one. So in terms of a score line, I'm going to go with Wigan Warriors 30, Leigh Leopards 14. So that is going to be it for this video. If you would like to become a member of this channel and support the work that I do and the videos that I make from this season, going into the Pacific Championships and the England vs Samoa series, and even going into next season as well, with some new exciting stuff in the works at the moment. Not going to reveal anything to yet until it's all finalised, but some very, very exciting stuff that's been worked on behind the scenes at the moment. So that is going to be it. Let me know your predictions down below. But that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.